right. Peace and high frequencies, everybody. All of these different things and prompts and stuff popping up. Talking about moderator and all of that. I don't want no moderator. Y'all say what y'all want to say. Get mad if you want to get mad. Sell shrooms on here if you're trying to sell shrooms. Do as thou wilt. Okay, I ain't got time to moderate. I ain't even got no people on here to moderate. Okay, I'm just tripping. But anyway, I want to talk about the Nagas. I think I shared with you all on a video a while back, couple of videos back this week, that I had the dream about the huge Naga woman. And I've been driving, y'all, so I really haven't had time to just go in it, because when I'm driving, I like to just do the video because it's in my head and I want to just go ahead and just share it. But now that I'm at home and I got time, I want to talk about it. So in the dream, and it was really quick. I was laying in the bed, and you know how you drift off to sleep and you're not all the way in a deep sleep, but you were almost there. I see this huge Naga woman, and it was like she was taking a picture, but I was having this third eye view of this big ass, I'm talking about, y'all, huge, like she was bigger than just I've been online trying to find a picture of how big she was. If you can think about, let's say, like an elephant, her tail, the snake part of her tail was just as thick and fat and round, and it rolled on for miles and miles and miles. And I remember having a third eye view of seeing the top half of her human form of her body, and then it was like my third eye just started to just keep going and going and just looking, and was like, damn. I was like, damn, this is in my in my mind, I'm like, this is a snake. And then the tail of the snake of her body flipped over. When it flipped over on the backside, it was like this lime green was on the inside of the body of her body. And then I just woke up. Now, this was the interesting part about seeing the Naga's body, seeing her human body. Because a Naga has never came to me in my dream. I haven't even really even been researching Nagas until this happened to me. And I was thinking about it. I was like, well, why did I even have a third eye viewing of a Naga? Why did I have it? At first, I didn't even know the word Naga. I was just like, why am I having a third eye viewing of this half woman, half snake being? Then I researched, and then I was like, okay, that's a Naga. And then I come to find out that Nagas have been found all over the world, in every culture. Nagas are found in every culture, y'all, all over the world. There is not one culture or one part of the world on this earth that the Nagas have not been. So that became very interesting. So I went a little bit deeper. I'm like, okay, these serpent beings, we have a connection to these serpent beings. So I just started to think about our physical form. I started thinking about the brain. I'm like, the brain, it has, when you look at a picture of it, it got all these swirls and stuff. You think about a brain, the brain looked like a fucking snake. Then I was thinking about the human body again. I was like, damn, you think about the gut, the intestines, the small intestines and the large intestines. I'm like, that shit look like a fucking snake. Our intestines, when you look at like an anatomy and physiology picture of our intestines, that shit look like a snake too. Our guts, our bowels, everything, that look like a snake. Right? So I'm thinking about brain look like a snake. Our skin can be, it peels off like a snake. And then I started to think, I'm like, damn, was she a fucking ancestor that came to me? Was this Naga person, an ancestor that came to me. So I keep going. I go on YouTube. I'm listening to a guru from India. Um, and this is guru from India that he at first he states, and I'm gonna put the link into that video on there. At first he states, I don't even want to open up that part of it, but I'm gonna talk about it. At first he didn't even want to open up to talk about the Nagas, but he went ahead and went into it. And he said it's in every culture, like I stated, and he said that they came to this dimension. They're from another dimension. They came into this dimension with us, and they gave us a different level of intelligence. It's also speculated that they built the pyramids. And then they started to have relationships with human beings here. And then they left. They gave us all the things. And he said that they're from Nagaloki. He said that he even gave the dimension and where they are from, Nagaloki. So I'm like, what the hell? So this was he was a real guru. He reminded me of like Sadhguru. He's an old Indian man, and I can't think of his name. Is Sri something, Sri M or Sri M, something like that. But he talks about his encounter with the Naga. And so he said that they left their descendants. And he said their descendants were the cobra. And then I go into thinking again, Kundalini. Thinking, okay, we always refer to a Kundalini energy as being a snake, or like being a serpent at the base of the spine. And when we come into our awareness, that snake starts to arise, that serpent arises, and the hood, like a cobra, opens up. Then I get to thinking more. He said that, they left, the Naga people left their descendants here, which were the cobras, the serpents with the hoods. That's the descendants. And I'm just like, okay, but if they had, my mind goes, if they had relations with beings that were here, then, wouldn't you think that, damn, they may have had human descendants too, along with the cobras? Especially if and it's also say that they shapeshift. They're not just really half snake, half human, but they also shapeshift. So I'm like, okay, they shapeshift. So then I'm thinking Kundalini energy. They always say, coming into your awareness, that Kundalini energy rises up to like the crown chakra. So then I think about the Egyptians. My mind goes to the Egyptians and like, even with the pharaohs. Remember, you can look up any picture of pharaohs from ancient Egypt, and they have the cobra that's out right here, that's on the crown. And I'm like, why is so much reverence given to the snake? It's so much reverence and energy given to the Naga. And like he said, in India, the word Naga means serpent. So why is cultures of people that are named after the Nagas? It's universities named after Nagas. It's lands named after Naga. People, cultures, so many different things named after the Naga. And so when I had never went into research, and I've been listening to a lot of different teachers, scholars, in different cultures. Some of the ones that we even have here today, some of I feel like are ascended masters, just like Sis just asked, have I listened to 7? I've listened to 7 Bomar on Understanding, with him talking about the Nagas. I've been listening to so many people, because I'm trying to find what really resonates with my energy on Nagas. I even asked another spiritual friend, Tafari, and he gave me his thought process on what he states the Nagas are to him based on his research. So I'm just listening to all the people who have done the research on the Naga people. And then I'm also pulling out what really resonates with me, because the biggest thing is not the fact that I'm just looking this shit up just to be looking at researching. The biggest thing for me, and y'all know, is the fact that this Naga woman came to me in my trans state. The fact, out of 42 years, I have never had a Naga, a half person, half serpent. Now, I've had y'all remember I did the video on the snakes and the frogs. Even when I was in high school, I remember sleep in bed, and I had a dream that I was in bed. It was kind of like an out-of-body experience, and there was this thick python that was around my bed. And I had to be like in 10th grade, 9th or 10th grade. I remember that dream that I had. So snakes come to me. I've had snakes come to me in a dream, but this is the first time I've had a Naga, half serpent, half human, and it was a female energy come to me. So it just brought up a lot of questions, and I believe she did that purposefully, or that energy did that purposefully, so I can start to do this research, and even like I'm doing right now, share this shit with y'all, because you all probably know more about Nagas or that serpent dimension. Like he said, they're from Nagaloki. When he said that, I was like, Nagaloki, it's a whole damn land dimension that these people came from. And then I started to also research and look online, and I saw a lot of statues. There are a lot of statues of half human, half serpent beings in India, also in Mexico, also in Africa. Like I said before, all over this earth, there have been an imprint, some type of way, of these Naga people. And the shit is, and I try not to go too deep into the intellectual side, because for me, and it's just for me, everybody do as thou wilt, like I said before. For me, if I go too intellectual into others people's research, then I'll lose the message of what they are trying to give to me specifically. And I understand for certain people that deep research is needed for them to get an understanding. And I'll do some research, but I've also been told that they will share direct information with me if I ask. So I don't go so deep into reading a whole lot of, I ain't finna go read a whole lot of books on Naga people. I just ain't. I know I ain't. This is not what I'm gonna do. I research a lot of things on health and wellness. Researching a lot of historical information is just not my thing. It's just not my thing. And I applaud those who are metaphysicians, who like to read a whole lot of books, the Bhagavad Gita, and the ancient Book of the Dead and all of that. If y'all love to read all of that, then kudos to you. But part of my mission here is for me to do other shit. And so but I do like to hear others' accounts. And the fact that damn big, I'm talking about this one, a regular sized Naga woman. This one like our regular sized woman like me. It wasn't like it was me with snake bottom. This woman was bigger than this whole, my whole egg chair that I'm sitting in. She was big as this. I'm talking about big as hell. And her tail, her snake bottom went on for miles, y'all, and this shit was huge. So I'm like, it's also in the mythos. They also say that I've been hearing people say on different YouTubes that I've been listening to, that they came down and they built the pyramids. I don't know how much of this is true. There are also even the mound. Now, the snake mound in Ohio. The snake mound in Ohio that I have on here as the thumbnail for this video. This snake mound in Ohio goes for miles. I forgot how many, 400 or something. I don't know, kilometers, whatever they say. It goes for a long, long way. But they said it was built straight out of mud. And that was very interesting. This snake mound that was built out of mud, looks just like a snake that goes on for miles, was built out of mud, and it's in Ohio today. That shit is interesting to me. So everything goes back to snake. Everything is going back to this reptile energy. Even being human, I think about it again as being what they call a humanoid or a human being, or, you know, whatever they want to call us. We have a reptilian brain. Part of our brain is reptilian. So I'm thinking reptilian, snake. The brain looks like a snake. The guts, the small and large intestines look like a snake. Our kundalini energy, when it awakens, it opens up like the hood of a cobra. The pharaohs, we always talk about the ancient Egyptians. They had a cobra that said, right, all of these different things are pointing towards us giving so much reverence to the serpent. Then we also think about, shit, biblically speaking, you had Adam and Eve, right? The whole little mythos of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. And there was a snake. The snake told her to eat the fruit. The fruit ended up giving her an awakening, which was an awakening of the Kundalini energy of who she really was. But again, it was that snake energy. And I'm thinking about, why was it a snake? Why is everything, why couldn't it have been a worm? Why couldn't it have been a bird? Why we don't have like a snail energy that sits at the base of our spine that rises up? Why is it a snake? Why, why is everything, even the Naga people and the, even with that mound, how they create a mound that is made in the shape of a snake? Why didn't they make it in the shape of a turtle? It's just everything is pointing towards serpent, reptilian brain, our connection to the reptilian brain. And so I don't know much about the Archon story and the Demiurge and Sophia. I even have somebody share me, I think it was Esco, share with me the Archons book. I haven't even went through that and finished reading all of it. And I'm not familiar with that. I don't know if there's a connection with the Naga people with that. What dimension they end up coming. He said Nagaloki. I'm like, it's a whole damn dimension that these people came in from. So it just makes you think about, how did we come into existence? The Indian guru that I was listening to, like I said, I'm going to link his video after this is done below, because he gave a lot of information on that video. And so with him even talking about the intelligence that they shared here with us, but the biggest thing is that he said that, and this is my pomegranate juice, y'all. It looked like wine, but it's pomegranate juice. He said that they left the cobras behind. Those were their descendants. But they can't be all of the descendants that they left behind. If they interacted and they had relations with the beings that was here, and even reading different things I've been reading, saying they were beautiful people, they were just, beautiful, and they had, these relationships with the beings here. I'm just like, well, if that's the case, got it, 555. She is me. Girl, she is me. Thank you for saying that. She is me. I was thinking that shit too. I was thinking that shit too. I'm like, because we all know we are our ancestors. At the end of the day, ain't nothing outside of you. So I'm just like, what kind of queen snake was I? Girl, I'm like, what kind of big fat ass queen snake? Then I was looking online. I was looking for, I forgot what the fuck I was looking for, y'all. But I ended up finding the high priestess card. When I found the high priestess card, one of the cards on Google was a Naga. I'm like, goddamn, they got a Naga high priestess card of a half woman and half snake. I'm like, everywhere I look, I keep seeing these goddamn Nagas. This is a message. I don't, for me, I don't ever take shit like this, like, oh, it's just a fucking dream. Like, it don't mean nothing. No. Just like you said, Divine Connection 228. She is me. She is me letting me know who the fuck I am. Now I'm like, I'm goddamn Naga. I'm a Naga for real. Goddamn Naga. But people have been saying, I know they saying NāgaS, NāgaS, NGS. I think when I was watching Seven Bomar, that was one of the things that he was talking about. They in the book he was reading from, it was NGS at Mount Hermon. And he was talking about how the NāgaS were on Mount Hermon, and they take that part out of the Bible. That part of the NāgaS of them being on Mount Hermon was taken out. Then he goes deeper. It's all coming back to me, y'all. Then he goes deeper. He starts to talk about the different angels. He talks about the seraphim, the cherubim, the nephilim, the ish. He talks about the different levels of the different angels. He says that the NāgaS were that. I think he said that they were the seraphim. I'm not sure, but I believe that's what he called. He said that the NāgaS were the seraphim. They were the ones that were on Mount Hermon from this ancient text that he was reading from on one of his videos. I'm gonna link that video here too for y'all who want to go through and kind of dissect it. I always like to go deep. I don't know if whoever yesterday and day before yesterday, I think I was going through Friday night. That's what it was. Friday night for about 3 or 4 hours, y'all. I know for sure. I was just going in on researching NāgaS and just listening to other spiritual teachers who have already done the research Friday night. That's what I was doing. And then yesterday morning, I did it as well. I left, did some ransom errands. I came back home and I started. Seven Bomar has like almost a 3-hour video that he talks about it. The Mount Hermon, and it's spelled NGS. In the ancient text that he's reading from is NGS. Now that's how they have that NāgaS. And I've heard other spiritual teachers that talk about the NāgaS without the vowels in there, with just the consonants. So all this shit is just it's new information for me. I haven't she came, she wanted to make herself known, like Divine Connection 228 just said. That is me. Now that put a whole nother spin on it. Another thing that's coming to me while I'm talking. I don't know if y'all remember with me sharing this, or if I even had a YouTube channel when I shared this. I don't know. I may have shared this with y'all before. Back in like 2020, this being of light came to me in a dream. I think I shared this with y'all before. And in the dream, and in my mind at the time, I was like, oh, that's an angel. So in the dream, he came to me and he said, you are light. That's when I just started talking about light beings and star seeds and stuff. Because at first I didn't even know what I was. We just have no clue. But when he came to me and told me I was, and then he said, this is how you're able to see light in other people. and you'll be able to see people who don't want the light and people who do want the light and recognize the light in you. So he was showing me different things. He took me, it was like, if you all have seen the show on Netflix called The Magicians, it remind me of that shit. Cause we would go from one location and then he'll zap me and we'll go somewhere else. And then he would show me how to utilize my light and how people will recognize it and how people repel it. I can't even explain how we did it. It was like one location, we was in a library, and it was one girl. She was a young girl, looked like she was like a teenager. And when he showed me what to do, like everything around her just got dark and it repelled the energy that we sent out. And that's how I knew like she wasn't connected to what I am. And so, anyway, I'm saying all of that to say this. In the video that I'm going to link here with the Indian guru, he says that the Naga people were light people. They were people of light. He shares that. He said that they were the type of people who they came, they demand sharing intelligent information. They were beings of light, but they also were, you know, if you cross, they were kind of like, if you cross them, they'll get your ass too. Kind of like that. But they were beings of light. When he said that they were light beings and they were beings of light, when he said that about the Naga people, I connected that to the dream I had almost 3 years ago when the light being came to me. Now, when I saw the Naga lady, which was me looking at myself, just like the light being that came to me, that was me too. These are all different facets of myself coming back to me for me to remember who I am and what I am and trying to put all of this shit together. So, and it's so much, y'all. It's kind of like once you jump down the rabbit hole, it ain't no ending. It's like the never ending hole. You just constantly falling down this motherfucker. you you constantly, you're like, oh. That's how I feel. Like when I start to just get information, like this shit is never over. Like I'm always finding out something else. But when she came to me, it's like that has opened up a whole nother chapter of existence of who I am and shit, what I am. You know, because we know this physical form, this is a holographic universe. Like, first of all, we know we are projections, and this is a holographic universe. When I saw her, initially, I was repelled. I was like, oh, like, I remember the dream. I saw this damn thing, and I was like, oh. Like, she big as hell, and she fat, and she big as hell. She's so fucking big. Oh, it's a snake. You know, y'all, I promise this shit's so funny. I can still see it in my mind's eye, just seeing this big, thick ass snake body and flipping it over, and it was lime green. I woke up and I was like, ugh, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck? What's yeah, you think about it. And so it's like, this is a whole different realm or dimension of beings that are real. I take it as real. I take it as real. And I'm glad she came to me the way that she did come to me. It was almost like she was standing there to take a picture. It was like she was just standing there to take a picture. And I feel like maybe if she did anything else and came to me in any other way, I really would have been like in so much shock I would have woke myself up. And so going back again to another dream I had at 2021. And it's on here. I remember I recorded that dream. It was a snake dragon that came to me. And the snake dragon came, swirled all the way around me, and the snake dragon took me to what looked like, in my mind, thinking I'm seems like it was like Egypt. And then I started to see all of these like people who had died. It was like these tombstones. And it was just weird, but I was like, it was this snake dragon. It was brown. A brown snake. I'm gonna have to find that video. It was a brown snake dragon that wrapped around me, and it was taking me through different places and different dimensions. So now that I'm going back and thinking about it, I'm like, goddamn, I done had a lot of interactions with fucking snakes. And of course, we always say that is our Kundalini awakening. I understand that. That is us awakening to a higher level of ourselves. I understand those intellectual thought processes and studies. But why is it connected to snake? Why is it serpent? That's like my only question. Why is it serpent? And what can anybody give me any information or really direct information? Nothing that I have to kind of like filter out and figure out, but real clear, concise information on the Naga. The closest I got was the Indian guru who said they just come from another dimension and they came here and gave us intelligence. He didn't go deep into it. He was kind of hesitant about even sharing the information that he did share about it. But I am going to link that video here, and I think it's like the last 30 minutes of the video that he talks about the Naga people. But he was hesitant about talking about the Naga people on there. But it just boggles my mind that they are found, these Naga, half man, half serpent people are found in every culture in the world. So yeah, that's all I wanted to share, y'all. It's just been on my mind. As more information comes to me about NāgaS, and I'm quite sure it will. The light being that showed me how to use my light and everything hasn't came back to me again that I can remember. The aliens that I told you all before, when they came, took me and worked on my heart, and I felt this warmth in my heart and everything, that hasn't happened anymore. And then this is the first time I've had a Naga being appear to me in my dream. Very interesting, you know. You get to be, your 40s, and then boom, here all the shit. It's occult knowledge, what I'm getting, so you may want to start there. Yep. It's really some hidden knowledge. You're right. It is occult knowledge. It is definitely some hidden knowledge. And I may end up being led to a book that I can read, that now that I've had more of an awakening to that level of information, that I'll understand what the book is saying. Because a lot of these books are written in code, and if you don't have an awareness to it, like when I first read Holographic Universe in 2015, I understand none of that shit. When I first read Emerald Tablets in 2016, 2017, I understand none it was talking about. But when I started to read it last year, like everything came to me. And then I tried this. I smoked, like I took 2 puffs of a joint and I read Emerald Tablets, and oh my God, it was just like everything. It was like thoughts was sitting in my bedroom talking to me. It was so wonderful. So yeah, once you're right. It'll be revealed. That hidden information and knowledge is definitely gonna be revealed. Just like when I had the dream that I was in the Vatican, and they have gatekeepers at the Vatican. Shit, you can't get in that motherfucker in the astral plane, and they damn sure ain't gonna let you in there in the physical realm. And I was in the astral plane trying to get past motherfuckers that could see me, and they was like, you ain't getting down here. They got something down up under that Vatican that they ain't let nobody to. Also, that's coming to me. He said it's Nagas in this pyramid So I forgot where he said was that people still go and worship them. And they keep saying, I've heard two accounts from two different Indian guru videos that I watch, and they said that they're shapeshifters. They're not just half human, half snake, but they are shapeshifters. Like they can change shapes. And a lot of times, like people are thinking like shifters and people who shapeshift can be evil, or on the negative side, dark side, whatever, however you want to put it, opposition. But I feel like just with anybody or anything, you're gonna have some that's good, some that's bad. You're gonna have positive this, positive that. Just like people, you got positive people, you got negative people, you got good people, you got bad people, you got murderers, you got killers, you got philanthropists. You got all sides of the coin. So I definitely feel like there are shapeshifters or there are reptilians and people that are from different dimensions, that are the descendants of these different entities from these different dimensions, and they may not always be, of a low frequency. Um, and that's what's coming to me. And I had the dream a few weeks ago. Remember I told you all that I turned into a reptile. Y'all remember that shit? I remember that dream like it was yesterday. Like I had like these teeth down here that came out. It's like they shot out. My neck grew long, and then these veins and stuff. I was a whole fucking reptile, y'all. I was a whole fucking dinosaur reptile. I don't know what it was, but I'm just like, damn, why all this reptilian energy coming towards me? And the goddamn Nagas. And then he talking about the Nagas from a different dimension. But I'm still going in researching. I just think it's interesting. I'm gonna have to go back and hopefully something. I ain't gonna say hopefully. I know more information will come to me because she wouldn't have ever came to me if it wasn't time for me to receive. I feel like they like know like okay, it's time for her to receive. It's time for her to receive the information. So let me go and show her who she is. She really this big ass, thick ass, half woman, half snake. And she thinks she this little black woman in a body on earth in Memphis. Girl, no. This you for real. It's scary, aren't you? I'm crazy, y'all. But anyway, that's what I wanted to share. Woo, y'all. Let me go put some gas in my car. Get ready for the week. But I wanted to share that while I had time. I'm sitting at home and I ain't driving in the car because y'all know normally I'm moving from here to there. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share. If anything else come to me about these damn Nagas, y'all, I promise you, it's been mind-boggling. Damn Nagas. So yeah, y'all share with me whatever you got. Send me a link. I'm gonna watch it, and I'm gonna put the links to the Indian man so y'all can listen to that, and whatever you receive from that, then let me know. As always, I leave you in peace and high frequencies, everybody.